I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own. I resign.
Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. It's just an update basically on my situation, my investigation, of course, by the BBC investigating me, of course, as I say, I'm a criminal because I don't pay my TV license, as you know. Yeah, just to say one or two things. As I said, I'll be doing some other videos on other topics actually shortly, and this is just to get my channel some more things on the channel, more interesting things maybe, I don't know. But anyway, for the BBC, obviously, as we know, Gary's gone now. Was he forced out? Was he told he's got to go? Or, you know, did he just do it, you know, just because he's just, you know, obviously the Palestinian thing, he was very, very outspoken on that, which is great for him because, as I said before, someone needs to speak out on all this stuff that's going on. And, of course, the BBC don't like you talking about things that they don't want you to talk about. Anyway, so anyway, as I said before, you know, in some respects, I admire Gary for what he's done. He stood for his principles, and he said, right, I had enough. And he's got an opinion, he can voice it. Anyway, as I said, that's another subject. Obviously, his last day on BBC will be Sunday, Saturday or whatever, well, Saturday night, maybe football. And he'll move on, probably Sky or something like that. I'll pick him up, you know, whatever, or he'll just do his own thing, you know, something like that. Anyway, like I say, on the situation with my investigation for being a criminal, the BBC sent me a letter saying they were going to be coming on the 14th of May. Unfortunately, I had an operation in hospital, which I didn't want to cancel, of course, just to sort of, you know, for them. No way I would it was quite an involved operation. I'll go into more detail about it because obviously there's a subject I want to talk about, which is regarding sort of situation. There's going to have another video coming up about it. But as I say, I was in hospital. I came out of hospital after you know, one night and, you know, sort of a day. I stayed with somebody for, you know, for a few, you know, couple of days basically. Then I came home, and on the doormat was of course the letter. This letter, which is what I got I'd sent back to Darlington, and it came back via Postman Pat, because I said on the back, return to sender. And of course, obviously, when I got home, and I didn't really notice it at first till I checked my mail, and Postman Pat had obviously took it out the post box and brought it back to, you know, put it back in my house, which is crazy really, because it makes no difference, because the 14th had passed by then anyway. It was the 16th when I came home. So, you know, it's just madness. You think, well, Postman Pat's working for the BBC now. But anyway, I'm away this weekend, and I will post the letter. It's the letter here, the letter I got for the 14th. I'll send it back to them. I mean, I could keep it, but any letters I get, I just send back. But obviously, I'm more wiser now that it's got to be a certain post office, post box where they not too close to my address. You know, maybe, you know, somewhere I might post it somewhere, and it won't come back to me. So Anyway, the next letter is going to be letter number 18, because obviously I'm not going to do anything other than what I'm doing now. I'm having my right to not watch the BBC. That's a right. Now, if it becomes on your council tax, it comes onto your any other taxation. If they change it in 2027, it's going to be state television. Well, I don't want to live in Russia. And I hope that a lot of people you watching the channel don't want to do that neither. You know, don't want to, you know, be told you've got to pay for this. You don't have to, you've got to watch it or whatever, you know, that kind of state television. We don't want that in this country. You've got a choice, you know, and there's other things you can watch without watching the BBC. There's a great guy obviously on YouTube called Chili John's channel, which I've always referred to. If you look at a lot of his videos, in a lot of the videos he tells you what you can do and can't do, more involvement than me. As I said, I've said before on many occasions, I'm just documenting here what they do. So if anybody out there new to the situation, Chili John's got loads and loads of videos about it, but for me it's an everyday thing or weekly thing, because eventually they will come. There's no doubt about it. If they're in my area, they eventually will come and knock on my door. It may be 2 years down the road, it may be next week, it may be a month. You know, they just don't leave you to sort of keep a guessing game. And of course then they try and of course if you was watching and they say they're going to come on a certain day, so obviously if you were doing anything wrong on that day, you make sure you're not going to be doing anything on May the 14th. You make sure that, you know, you're not doing anything, you know, you're not watching television, or you've not got access to it if they do come on the 14th. So they must know this, and so they say it's a crazy word. And will you be in on the 14th? Will you be in next week, or will you be in, you know, somebody's coming to call for you, call at your door next week on the 18th of December or something daft. And that's what they do. They try and do this, you see, to make you pay up. Oh, BBC are coming on the 15th. Oh yeah, people are not sure what the rights they've got. They panic and they pay up, you know, and then you pay for the license, you know, and they've got the money. They've run it on fear. They've run their campaign on fear of sending letters, keep sending harassment letters. And of course, if you know this channel now, you're on me. I'm here to stop this happening to you. Now, there's lots of people reacted to my comments and put comments down. Some people have been doing this for 10 or 15, 12 years, and they've been doing it for 6 months, and they've not had a visitor. They're not, and just shut the door. They've done all kinds of stuff, and it is. I understand that, you know, people other than me are doing this. I'm not the only person, but I'm saying, you know, you can see here what's happening to me personally on a week-to-week basis, you know, every month. I mean, let us say in June, which is a couple of weeks away, probably the mid-June, June the 10th or something, will you be on June the 14th? You know, there'll be another letter, the same thing, you know, and it just gets sent like a you know, it is a computerized letter. It just gets sent out to you all the time. And you know, some people have had letters for 10 years and they've collected hundreds, you know, but it keeps coming out, you know, and eventually probably somebody will come out if they're in that neck of the woods, wherever you are, and they will probably knock on your door. But the aim of this channel was not to see anybody get fined on the doorstep. The 30,000 people that get fined each year, according to Chili John, you know, Chili John was talking about 30,000 people. It's gone down a bit, because obviously Chili John's done a lot of great work over advising the community, non-payment, you know, stop paying your TV license. He's done a lot of work over the years, and people have got wise to the situation that you don't get fined on your doorstep. So there's still around 30,000 people going to court. And this is the aim. Like I say, if you know what to do, and if I'm not going to go to court because I know what to say to them when they come, you know, you don't give them any information, you don't sign no scanners, you don't, engage with them. You don't let them in unless they've got a search warrant by a magistrate saying they've got evidence that you've been watching TV live in your house. If they do that, then obviously you know they've got evidence from a magistrate. But I would counteract that by having call the police round, at them to witness what's going on. It's a civil action between you and the BBC. You can call the police round to protect yourself and say they'll just sit there and watch what's going on, make sure it's all done in the correct manner. But the police won't do anything if they're there. They won't do anything. If the police call at your house if you're going to let them in, or they've got a search warrant, which is very rare they get a search warrant, the police will come in and just sit there with you and make sure there's no breach of the peace. That's all they're there for. Or they'll threaten you, say, oh, I have to bring the police in, and I'll have to do this and all that. They try and scare you again. Well, I'll have to call the police around. And of course, nobody really wants the police coming to your house. You know, you might not just have a TV license. You might have something dodgy in the house or something like that, or whatever. You know, you don't want police, you know, they just sit there and watch what's going on. They're just there to observe that no fray is being caused, a breach of the peace and stuff like that. So that's what it is. The BBC have got no powers when they get in the house. There's some great videos out there, which I was going to do one video about, when the police actually came in somebody's house while they were doing you know, a check, which is just a joke actually, because the police did nothing but just watch these guys talking to this guy. And he said, "I'm not answering. I'm not, no comment. You know, that's all it was. It was crazy." Well, anyway, folks, thanks again to all the new people who've subscribed to my channel. Give us a thumbs up. Leave some comments. I mean, you know, good or bad comments. I'm a big boy now. I can take good or bad pump comments, whatever. You don't think I'm doing anything right or doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong, really. I'm just stating the facts that, you know, you don't have to have a TV license unless you're watching BBC television or live television. That's the rules. And, of course, they have to prove, then, that you are watching live television, of course. And, of course, they have got no detective vans. They were just a joke. They were just butty vans. So the evidence is out there, so for you to understand that they're not going to get anybody fined, any more fines on the front door. That's my goal to do on this channel, is to make sure people who are becoming new to this, who are not paying the TV license, and there's a lot more, you know, each year, millions of people have not paid, and they're still not paying, and eventually the BBC will have to do something about it, because there'll be so many people not paying anymore. So anyway, folks, thanks again. Like I say, I will be doing a few more videos. I'm away this weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. I'm away, and I might drop this letter somewhere else, another postmark on the other side of the country somewhere, and just send it back to them, because you know, then it's gone back to them. Whatever, let them have their rubbish themselves. Anyway, folks, thanks again. Leave some comments, and thanks again. And the bank holiday weekend coming up. Everybody has a nice weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Maybe some videos when I'm away. Anyway, thanks a lot. Bye for now. All the best. Bye now. Bye.